Hello, I'm Tyler Bates. I am an Air Force flight surgeon, and this is a special series of videos on the military match. I am focusing on the Air Force match and some of the special intricacies about the less common specialties, and even for those individuals whose specialty is not available at all in the Air Force. Please stay tuned for this entire series as I hope that everybody will find this beneficial, but especially those people that are like, what do I do? Because I don't think my specialty is on this list. How do I go about doing this? As I said, I am a flight surgeon. My ultimate dream is to do physical medicine and rehabilitation, but I'm a flight surgeon. How'd that happen? Well, physical medicine and rehabilitation is one of those specialties that is just not allowed in the Air Force. Every year, a document called the HPERB comes out. It is a meeting among the medical corps determining how many people they need in each specialty across the Air Force. I don't know the last time that it had somebody in physical medicine and rehabilitation. I did meet the person that was the last active duty physical medicine doc in the entire Air Force, but I don't know the last time somebody was actually available to match. It varies by year. And it honestly varies by specialty. Some of them will be extremely consistent. Say family medicine, internal medicine, for example, both of those have between 50 to 70 people every single year. There will be intricacies about how many in each location, how many are going to have to go civilian, but it's very consistent. Ophthalmology is fairly consistent with about 1 to 2 every single year, and neurology is somewhere in the middle. There's constant rumors that things are going to be changing, especially with the recent Defense Health Agency overtaking of the 3 services medical branches. There's a lot of talks on things changing and focusing which specialties will be allowed. But we never know until that HPERB comes out. A little bit about how to use it, and I'd really encourage you to try to get your hands on this. Down the vertical column, it will have different types of specialties. So first will be aerospace medicine, then anesthesiology, and so on and so forth, all the way down to urology as being the last one. And then across the top portion, it will have each of the different military medical centers, including some of those that belong to the Army or the Navy, because the Air Force has a certain deal. At the very right-hand side, there will be 2 other columns. One will say deferred, and the other one will say CIV. There's 2 completely different situations with that. The civilian deferred, you go about your own life, much like you did in medical school. You go to the hospital, you wear the hospital scrubs, you wear the hospital white coat or your school's white coat, and you can grow a beard, you can do a few other things. And you're not really in the military. Yes, you're on IRR status, individual ready reserve, the exact same thing that you are on during HPSP. If you go civilian sponsored, the Air Force pays your paycheck. So you get your officer pay plus whatever the medical bonuses are, and then you get your BAH and BAS, the basic allowance for housing and subsistence. And that's going to depend based off of the areas. Most likely, you're going to be making more money than civilian counterparts. Oh yeah, and the trick with both of those is the Air Force is not helping you get into anywhere. You are on your own getting somewhere in the civilian match. But as I said, sponsored, you're paid for. Some people tell me that it's basically a free ride to write your pass wherever you want to go for residency because they don't have to pay you. But my friend that has done it says that it's not quite that easy. And there's a really big kicker with the civilian sponsored. Because they're paying you, they want to get more out of you. So not only do you have the 3 or 4 years that you got from medical school, you get another 4 year on your civilian sponsored program. So my friend did civilian sponsored family medicine. That's a 3-year program. They paid for him for 3 years. So on top of his 4-year scholarship, they added 3 more years on top of it. So he will be serving 7 years active duty in total because they paid him more during residency. So that is a very big differentiation to make. All of the others are active duty. You will be getting paid active duty pay, which is a captain at 0 years. And then you will be making a basic medical bonus for going to residency. The civilian deferred, you are making whatever your co-residents are making. Everything about you is run through your residency program. Civilian sponsored, you still have to have a connection to the military. You still have to take PT test. You are getting military pay, which means you're going to be making more. But when you want to go on leave, you're going to have to ask somebody in the military. And there's just kind of a few of those intricacies, and you're going to end up owing more time. So those are kind of a basic rundown. As I said, different specialties down the left-hand side, vertically oriented, and horizontally across the top will be all of those program, and then the civilians at the end. There's a very unique thing that you don't normally hear about on the civilian side of things, and that is the concept of a preliminary year or transitional year. A few specialties out there do have it. Maybe you've encountered that in your information searching about residencies. However, the military is much more strongly focused on these preliminary year or transitional years, or as I'll call them, internships. Every single residency technically has an internship. It is the first year of your residency. So your 5-year general surgery residency, your first year, you are still considered an intern. But some people do the 1 year singular. I did that. I did a transitional year. I did it civilian deferred. I will be going further into depth about the differences between the prelim year, the preliminary internal medicine, preliminary surgery, or transitional year in a later video. But what you need to know is that is something that you are actually required to apply to. That's also going to be in a future video. And where it also comes into play in this is as you are looking at the HPERB, you will notice some things that will say advanced position or PGY2 only. So aerospace medicine, for example, which is the first one on that list, it will say PGY2 only. Why is that? In order to do aerospace medicine residency, you actually have to do an internship separately. You have to go practice for at least 2 years as a flight surgeon, and then you can apply to do that residency. Other things such as radiology will have a PGY2 year spot, but just be aware that as you look and it says PGY2 only, that is for somebody that has already completed an intern year, so that will not be anybody applying this year out of medical school. So hopefully you learned what the HPERB is. Hopefully you can get your hands on it and take a look. See what specialties are available, see what locations they're available, and there's a matrix grid in there which tell you how many people go to which location. Hopefully I gave you a little bit of background and I piqued your interest for what some of the future episodes will hold. Really, I hope this is something that can be beneficial for you as you embark on this military match and learning some of the intricacies of it. Please go ahead and subscribe or follow me on Facebook or Instagram. I do try to get around to updating those. And as I said, this is going to be a video series about the military match, so please stay tuned and have a fantastic day. So you are aware, the things that I'm saying are my opinion and do not represent the official position of the U.S. Air Force, U.S. Department of Defense, Defense Health Agency, or U.S. government. Thank you for joining us on Musculoskeletal Minute. We have your back. Please remember that this is for education and does not constitute medical advice. Please subscribe, leave us a positive review, and share with your friends.